Hi everyone, welcome to AI Focused Fridays. In a recent video clip, I recommended that when you're trying to decide on AI tools, specifically generative text tools, that you can have 5 tabs open at all times and put questions into each. So you start getting to learn each style, the pros and cons of each, and figure out which ones you like best, if there are one or two that are your go-to tools that do certain things really well, but really just to wrap your heads around what these tools can do as well. So today I'm in Utah and I worked with CT directors on an AI training, and a question that came up at the end was, should I have an AI program or should I focus on integrating AI into all of my CT program areas instead? So should I start a new program or focus on integrating it into the many different CT programs? My response is that if it's either or, focus on integrating it into each program right now, because AI is the #1 trend transforming every career pathway. So let's make sure that everyone's understanding what it looks like, not necessarily understanding all the technical aspects of it, but they understand how to use these tools to get ahead in any career pathway that they're in. Now, that's if it's either or. Now, what if you're able to do both? You're able to start an AI pathway. Well, one thing you're going to have to take into consideration is whether or not there's appropriate industry certification. So let's try out that 5-tab model with the question, are there industry certifications that are appropriate for new AI programs offered at the high school level? So first we're using ChatGPT, and I'm going to click enter, and then we're going to copy it into each platform and see what each platform has to say about this. So sharing that there are several industry certifications, listing out some, anything from IBM AI Foundations, Microsoft Azure, all these different ones. And then you could further dive into whether or not their credentials of value. Is it something that's going to set them apart? Now, Grok is touted as the fastest AI model. So let's go ahead and see what it's got for us. And it wasn't really that impressive. I'll be honest, I think ChatGPT may have been faster, but that's okay. So it does provide some industry certifications that are suitable for high school. And remember that AI does hallucinate sometimes, so you want to make sure that either you recognize that, oh yeah, that's a legit certification, or that you go and check to make sure that it is one that is viable for high school students or partnering with a community college or local college in your community, versus assuming that you can take this to the board and say that these are all viable. What I love about Perplexity AI is that you're going to see with this one that it gives you the sources. So there's going to be little numbers at the end, and you can also put it in pro mode. That just makes it more advanced, and sometimes it'll ask follow-up clarifying questions to make sure that it's answering correctly. And you're able to see those sources right here, and they're numbered, so as you're going through the answer, you'll see a little number at the end, and you can click on that number and it'll have a little pop-up, or you can dig deeper into it, make sure that it is a reliable source, and it makes your research on verifying it much easier. I'll be honest, Perplexity is one of my go-to. That and ChatGPT are my main two. Claude is another one that I use. It's probably my 3rd favorite, so let's see what it has for us. Some say that it is the smartest, although we did have an update recently with ChatGPT. So now between the newest version of ChatGPT, and you're seeing some repeated from what we saw in ChatGPT here in Claude. And now let's go over to Gemini, and that's Google's tool. Ask the same question. So really we're covering 2 things at once today. We're looking at whether or not you should offer an AI program if it does have certifications attached that are ones that are going to be beneficial to students and lead to high wage, in-demand jobs. We know it's going to be in demand, we know it's going to be high wage, but is it also something that they can graduate high school with, or how much school are they going to need afterwards? And that is it for today. I encourage you to continue this process of exploring these different tools, and feel free to reach out if you have questions about this. And I do encourage you to go back in and ask that follow-up question on whether or not, because we know that some industry certifications mean more than others. So if you're trying to hone in on that one or two, making sure that you're doing some follow-up questions to determine if they are industries of value. Have a great weekend.